range just over 500 feet. So I'm looking for any motion in the water. Or, you know, possibly we could even see a beaver on land. I haven't observed that here before. I've also observed pond turtle and red-tailed hawk up in the branches of the canopy. Okay, here's a portion where it's a little more open. Easing up on forward thrust. I think I might see something on the rock up ahead. At bare minimum, I see some ripples in the water, so let's reorient. And pull in a little closer, see if we can find any animal life. Our goal is to practice nice, safe flying today. You know, I thought that might be a bird to the left, but it doesn't appear to be now. But what is up ahead on this rock? Is that an animal? I think we may have happened upon a pair of turtles. Let's approach these turtles slowly and see if we can get a good look at them. Now, it's amazing they've climbed up onto this rock. The slope at first would be quite difficult, but they've probably approached from the side where the slope is more gradual. And let's go ahead and orient the drone so we're right over the water, and then we'll descend a little. Get a nice close look at these turtles. You can see one of them with the head protracted like that, sticking up in the air. I'm not sure if that's a territorial sign. Now we are down in the reeds, so we're going to not descend any further. We are getting some breeze today, but it's not prohibitive for flying. The Mavic Air does have an inbuilt system that compensates for wind, but I am keeping my fingers on the sticks anyway. Let's see if we can get a more overhead shot of these turtles. We won't reduce our altitude, but we'll come up a little closer now. And actually, I think I am comfortable reducing our altitude here since we've pulled in nicely at this location. Oh, we've scared one of them. It's taken to the water. The other one, however, has remained. So let's hold this position and observe its behavior. See if it chooses to remain or see if it dives into the water as the other one has. And our battery percentage is discharging nominally. We're at about 75%. I was planning on doing a storage discharge flight today. Let's add some upward gimbal to get some perspective on where we actually are. We're looking at this granite boulder in the Santa Margarita River with these two turtles, and one of them has now departed. But this other turtle, I think it might be a red-eared pond turtle. I'm not sure. Oh, the other one is returning. It has decided to opt with the partner. Let's see if we can get a little closer, maybe get a species identification on these two turtles. Oh, we are getting a proximity alert off the vegetation. Let's go ahead and put some pressure left on the right stick, see if we can get rid of that proximity alert. And maybe add some upward altitude too. I want to see this turtle, as I was mentioning at the beginning of this conversation. I want to see this turtle crawl up onto the rock using the gradual slope on the one side. And it may be that this rock isn't available at some portions of the year, because so this might be a prime sunning location, protected from, or at least at a place where you can dive into the water quickly. So it may be that they appreciate the steep slope in some respects, because they can evade flying animals easily. And it also may be that this is seasonally available. As I was mentioning in the start of the flight, we are after some rain here. So the water level may have increased to the point where this rock is now available, and these two turtles are making use of it. Putting some pressure upward on the left stick. I like that altitude better. I think I'm starting to see some rotor wash in the bottom right from the drone. And I was hoping to see this turtle climb up, but it doesn't appear keen on doing so right now. It seems very happy at its current location. And I do wonder about how these turtles interact with the beaver in the river, easing up on albatross. We're getting some rotor wash and we don't want to disturb them, so let's add some altitude and we'll gimbal down, and I'll get you a nice perspective on where exactly we are relative to the Santa Margarita River. These three turtles competing for space, and we are getting some reflection off the water from the sun. Let's pull in at a slightly different angle. We do have plenty of battery power here because we discovered these turtles fairly early in the flight. Oh, and this is fun. You can see the reflection of the Mavic Air 2S in the water directly to the bottom right of the turtles. I'll come down right in this little channel between these two between the two sides of reeds. And I want to see which of these two turtles is going to make it to the top of this rock, easing up on descent. So now we have a more overhead perspective on this rock, and we're looking at the water that's drying behind these two turtles, putting some pressure aft on the right stick here, between these two turtles, which were going to meet their friends. And I do see the one, it looks like it's continuing up this rock. This might be strenuous for these turtles. I'm not sure what is or isn't strenuous for a pond turtle of this species. But it would get easier as they get closer to the top of the rock. And now they appear equidistant from the turtle on the top of the rock. We are getting a little wind that we're having to work with. So I'm trying to hold this location as best I can. We'll gimbal up a little more, get some perspective once more where this is in the river. This is at a restriction in the river, which has probably increased the water flow and led to the exposure of this boulder. Yeah. So here's another view of the pond turtles. We're going to do a low pass just over the reeds, and then we are going to depart and bring the Mavic Air 2S back towards the home point. See two of them. Let's add some altitude. Three of them, actually. And I think the one on the right departed. Oh, and there's the shadow of the Mavic Air 2S going over the rock. Wasn't expecting to catch that. That was quite pretty. Alright, let's bring the drone back in to land. Easing up on descent. That was fun! I love seeing those pond turtles. What a great location, as well as a subject. I enjoyed seeing the three of them compete for that rock. All right, video cut.